The transfer window has arrived, and once again, the financial fair play traffic light system has come into play. The board have taken away the 30 million I had in the transfer budget, and they have reduced the wage budget so that now I am about £400,000 overspending. There is nothing I can do to sign players, and 14 of my squad of 25 are wanted, 3 of whom I know are definitely leaving. I have run out of ideas. I have no idea what to do about this anymore. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to the Road to Glory Part 10 Season 2 here at Benfica. And looking at the table, you'd think that this team is in a superb position, and we have played 11 games in the league and we have won 11. We have 33 points. We are 4 points ahead of Porto with a game in hand. What a lovely situation to be in as we approach Christmas and the New Year. But all is not well here at Benfica, and off the pitch things have taken its usual turn, and the board have set in place this financial fair play traffic light system which goes red before the transfer window, and then after the transfer window is closed, everything is restored and it goes green. At the end of all that, I have usually lost 4 or 5 key players. But before we go into what's been happening on and off the pitch here, if you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, well, you're definitely in the right place at the moment. So why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling up above me. But before the transfer window shenanigans begin, we will be playing 2 games today in the Portuguese League. We will be away at Mafra and then we will be at home to Famalicão. And those are 2 games that ordinarily we should win. But I feel that morale is on a downward slope again as we go into this transfer window. And perhaps this is where our 59-match unbeaten run will come to an end. But let's have a look at what's happened on the pitch since you were last with us. And when you were last with us, you saw us beating Gothenburg in the Champions League by 3-0, and then we followed that with a league victory against Vitória de Guimarães by 2-0. Against Portimonense in the Portuguese Cup, we beat them quite easily by 6-2, and then we followed that with a very good away 1-0 victory against Juventus. A game again we played with that low block, which seems to be working very nicely against teams who are similar or better than us. And then in the league we had a very nice 3-1 victory against Estoril Praia, and we followed that with a 3-1 home win against Gil Vicente. And then possibly the best game of all, we had a 1-1 home draw against Milan in the Champions League, and boy did they put out a very, very strong team against us. And we followed that with a 4-1 victory against Vitória de Guimarães in the Allianz Cup 3rd phase. And then lastly we beat Estoril Praia by 3-1 in the Portuguese Cup 5th round. And so that brings us to our 2 games coming into the transfer window today. We are away at Mafra, who are recently promoted, and we will be at home to Famalicão in the Portuguese League. 2 games that we should be able to win quite comfortably. And in terms of the league itself, we have played 11 and we have won 11. We have still got a 100% record, and we have gone 59 games now without being beaten in the league. Porto are in second. They have played a game more than us and they are 4 points behind us. The Champions League group phase is looking very nice for us. We are currently in 6th place. We have played 6, won 4 and lost only 1. We have 13 points already from our 6 games. We have 2 tough games left to play, and those will be against Ajax and against Stuttgart. But I remember that we beat Stuttgart by 6-1 last season, and so I'm hoping that we're going to get at least another 3 points, which will take us possibly into the top 8 this year in the Champions League. However, after the transfer window closes, I'm not sure we're going to maintain any momentum at all, because I think there are some crazy things about to begin. And it is very difficult to try and make sense of what has been happening in terms of finances. Everything was looking good, and in fact we have now gone back into the green just overnight. We still have $1.5 million in the transfer budget, and we're about to receive in a couple of games' time a payoff for Martin Fernandez of $4 million or so. So it should take us up to about $5 million in the transfer budget. It's in the wage budget situation, though, that we still haven't recovered. The board have reduced our wage budget by probably around £750,000, and we are now overspending by almost £400,000 on the wage budget. There are players who are going to leave. If we look at the squad, we know there are certain players who want to leave. Rafael Luis, he wants to leave. He has a good transfer value of 28 to 36 mil, and he is wanted by Barcelona. I promised him that I would strengthen the squad in order to try and keep him, but that's not going to happen now, so we are going to lose him. So we will have some money in transfer fees coming in. Whether or not I'll be allowed to keep that, I don't know. Other players that want to leave include Novoa, and Novoa is wanted as well, so we are probably going to lose Novoa. He's wanted by several clubs, including Paris Saint-Germain. We have a transfer value set at 48.5 million for him, which he has accepted. So if we are allowed to keep this money, then we can probably reduce the wage budget on those two players and also have some money to spend, because if other players leave, we're going to be very short of wingers. In fact, I don't think we're going to have any left if more players leave. We've already fought off an offer on Joachim Mæhle. There was a polite request to sign him for £3.5 million, and I showed them the door. But other players that are wanted include Morata. Morata is a big player. He's wanted by Arsenal and Newcastle, so it's possible we could lose him. But all this would be useful money coming in if we can keep it. Ferland Mendy is wanted. He is considering a bid, I believe, and will probably leave the club in this transfer window. Jans-Peter Haig, he is wanted. I think he also wants to leave. He's wanted by Monaco. Again, we could get in a nice tidy sum for him, but it's going to leave big holes in the squad. Injai is wanted, a fullback. We can't really afford to lose any fullbacks at the moment, and he is a very good squad player who comes on and does a very good job for us. And so it just keeps going on. Velasco is wanted. It's possible that he might leave the club, a young midfielder with a lot of promise. Andre Fernandez, the young centre-back that I found lounging in one of the lower affiliate clubs. He's done very well, and he is on now wanted. Novoa, as I said, is probably going to leave, and Grillo is wanted as well. However, given the state of the finances now and the fact that it has gone green again, it's just very recently overnight turned green from red, then it does mean that we will, if we sell players, have a lot of money coming in, and we can then clear that 300,000 wage deficit and hopefully have enough to spend to bring in some young players or even some older, more experienced players who will help us to maintain this 100% record and our fight for the title and the Champions League. Who knows what is going to happen in this transfer window? When it was red, I was thinking that I might have got three options. Either just sit here, sell the players, ride it out and see what happens. Or I could have gone on holiday and put the director of football in charge and come back after the transfer window had closed and see what a mess he had made of it. Or I could have just gone down to the park and found a couple of 10-year-old boys who are willing to play for Benfica for a packet of crisps and an ice cream. Although given the state of the wage budget, we might have to forego the packet of crisps. But it is a mess here in terms of the finances, and it will be for a very, very long time here at Benfica. And there is no sign that it is going to get any better in the near future. But we have 2 very big games to play, and we would like to maintain our 100% record, or at least our unbeaten record, as we go into the first game against Mafra, who are recently promoted. It should be comfortable. They play Route 1. We should be able to deal with that. Let's go and kick some balls. And so the team for today in this first game away at Mafra is Grbic in goal, with Mela, Rodriguez, Marato and Mendy at the back. Luis and Palacios and Haig will play in midfield, with Gomez, Zolis and Torres up front. It could possibly be the last games that we see for players like Luis and for Haig, and maybe even for Novoa. And will be a tragedy, because without those 3 key players, it will become very, very difficult to maintain the form that we are showing at the moment. But we have to focus on each game as it comes. This is a game that we should be winning. We are going to go into this game attacking. We should be beating this team, and there is no reason why we shouldn't beat them. And however, we have made a poor start to the game, and it is Mafra who've made the better start, but we are back in the game. Nothing seems to be happening at the moment, and the score remains 0-0 after 15 minutes. We're not attacking as much as I would like, and I need to demand more from the boys. We've got to be doing better than this, and that's a nice ball to Luis, but Luis has lost it. And despite the fact that we've told them to tackle harder, Luis did not get his foot in there. And here is Palacios. Palacios, he finds Gomes, Andre Gomes, who's been playing absolutely terrifically. Lovely ball over the top from Palacios, and Torres, back in the side, has made it 1-0 to Benfica. What a strike. Lovely. Oh, is it going to be ruled offside? He looked onside to me, and the goal is awarded. I did think he looked onside. It was a beautiful pass from Palacios, sitting there at centre mid. Lovely ball over the top, and Torres, who, it's great to have Torres back in the team. I'm just hoping that he doesn't get sold. He got himself injured for about 10 weeks. We didn't really miss him, as Andre Gomes has stepped up to the plate, and now Torres will have to play up front because Gomes is playing so well in that shadow striker role. But it is nice to have Torres back in the team. But here come Mafra looking to break, and maybe we need to come off this attacking a little bit. I'm just going to come down 1 notch, because maybe we're going to leave too many gaps at the back. And at the moment, it's fairly even game. Mafra haven't created as many chances. We've created the better chances, but it's still only 1-0, and it's always dangerous against teams that you are better than when you're only 1-0 up. And here's Mendy. Mendy's pass is chronic, and it falls to Mafra again. And there, it's well done, Mendy. He has at least recovered the ball. Palacios finds Huig with the ball into space, and that is a clearance, but it could go anywhere. It's headed away. They are actually looking to counter-attack. I need to be very wary of these counter-attacks, and maybe we shouldn't perhaps press as much as we are, and I think I probably will come off the press a little bit. But Mafra are in. They could score here, and it's beautifully defended, and it remains 1-0 to Benfica. And I am going to come off the press and just come off the trigger press a little bit more, because they are breaking up speed, and we don't want to have them running past us and committing ourselves too much. And that's a good catch by Grbic, and Grbic now should distribute, and hopefully now coming off the press we can defend a little bit less nervously. We're in control of the game. We don't need to do anything silly, and we should we should be taking our chances. We've got 50% of our chances on target. So it's just a matter of time, I think, if we remain defensively solid before we get the second goal and close the game out. And it is coming up to half-time. We are ahead by 1-0. As you can see from the XG, it's a fairly even contest. And I'm going to say that we need to stay. I don't want to see any complacency out there. We need to stay focused. We need to win this game, as they are an inferior team, and we should be beating them and should be keeping the pressure up on Porto and Sporting. And we do have a free kick, and it is Torres over the free kick. And can he whip one in from here? And he can. And Torres has got his second goal. And it now is Mafra 0, Benfica 2. I think coming off the press was a good idea. They were breaking at speed, playing these long balls. And we needed to stop pressing them. And by doing that, then what we've done is defended better. And as I said, it was just a question of time before we got the second goal. So it is Mafra 0, Benfica 2. Palacios is looking for a through ball for Haig, but he can't get on the end of it. And it goes through to the goalkeeper. Hopefully the goalkeeper will play it long and we can win possession back. We have big defenders back there capable of winning these balls, and we have. And Mendy picks up the loose ball. Mendy is lacking support. He was pressed a little bit, but that's a lovely header on. Here's Gomes, who's in inspired form. He's a 23-year-old, not 21, as I reported in the last episode, but he is in inspired form at the moment, and he's doing very, very well in that shadow striker role. Here is Rafael Luis. Luis to Palacios. Palacios with a drive. It's hit the crossbar and come out. It comes out to Zollis. Zollis, who's been very quiet in this game. He finds Luis. Luis into Gomes. Gomes back to Luis. Luis looking outside for Mela, but Mela can't get there, and the highlight will come to an end. I think possibly now maybe time to make some changes. Mela's not having the greatest of games. Maybe it's time to bring someone on in place of him. Let's go and make some changes. We have brought on Injai for Joaquin Mela, and we've taken off Zollis and brought on Eze Abde. And hopefully that should be enough. There's nobody else who's playing that badly. In fact, if we look at the Mafra team, they are not playing great, and they're not really threatening us. Their fullback is a little bit of a nuisance, but not too much. I think maybe now, as we go towards the 80th minute, time to make some more changes. We'll wait until this highlight is done. Mendy finds Abde. Abde is robbed. And they are putting the foot in midfield, and they've done very, very well in midfield, and then they do break very quickly. They are not a bad team. And unfortunately, though, having said that, they then go and give the ball away to us. And Abde is in. Abde has a chance. It's 3-0. It is now time to make some changes. Lovely football. Once we won that ball back, it was curtains for Mafra. And it is now Mafra 3. Mafra 0, Benfica 3. It was poor by Mafra. They just simply didn't have a clue and gave the ball away. We then broke at pace, and Abde just stroked it into the net. It is now 3-0. I think it's game over. Let's go make the final changes. And so we have brought some fresh legs onto the pitch. We have taken off Luis. He's very tired, and brought on Gedson Fernandez. We have also brought on Sanramat for Andre Gomez. And I think possibly now we have done enough to win this game quite comfortably. We do have a corner, and it is Torres into the box, and it's headed away. We've won the ball back again in midfield. Here's Abde. Abde picking up the loose ball. He finds Gedson. Gedson over the top looking for Huig. Huig pulls it down, finds Torres. Torres with a curling shot that just goes wide of the post. He was on a hat-trick. He was looking for that hat-trick. It just went narrowly wide. It remains 3-0. It's comfortable. We remain 7 points clear, and we remain a 100% record in the league after 12 games, and that is just about as good as it gets. And nice work, everyone. looking at the table, you can't believe in your wildest dreams that this young team could have played 12 and won 12. We're doing even better than we were last season when we had that unbeaten record all the way through the season. And now we are 100% as it stands. We have a game coming up which is also a game that we should be winning fairly easily against Famalicão. And so I need to go away, get the team ready for that game. And if there's any news in the transfer window, I will be back. But if there's no news in the transfer window, I'll see you just before the game against Famalicão. And just before we do move on to the next game, the transfer window is just about to open, and I did get the board monthly performance review, and in the transfer section it does say the board are looking forward to seeing how you perform in the transfer market. They may well be, but I'm actually looking forward to seeing how they perform in the transfer window as well, because we've just found out that we have now gone back to red again. And so probably all the thoughts I had of making some transfers in this window have suddenly gone awry again. And so we just move on. The supporters, though, seem to be fairly happy with how things are going on here. They are totally oblivious to the financial problems. But we will march on, and we'll try and march on now to the next game. We'll be right back. And so very little has happened in the opening 2 days of the transfer window. I think we have lost 2 players in the summer. Valesso will leave in the summer, as well as Mendy in the summer. But that's okay. I just need to focus on holding on to them for this transfer window. And we'll deal with the summer when the summer comes. And in this game against Famalicão, they are also going to play Route 1, and so I've learned from that. And so we are coming off the counter-press for this game. And maybe it's a lesson that I've learned well, or maybe it's not a lesson that I've learned well. Whichever way, this is a game that we should be winning. And the team for today is Grbic in goal, with Injai, Rodriguez, Morato and Mendy at the back. Fernandez, Palacios, Neres in midfield, with Ezabde, Torres and Novoa up front. It's a good team that we've picked. It's a sharp team. It's a game we should be winning, and I think we should go out there and win this football match. And let's hope that we can maintain our 100% record. And I hope that I've made the correct decision to come off the press. Sometimes you make these decisions and it doesn't work out, and on other occasions it does. Just trying to learn from what happened in the last fixtures. Neres fires in a corner and it hits the top of the crossbar and it goes over. And we've made a good start. Famalicão are not really in this game, and maybe we did learn the lesson not to close them down, not to press them too hard, as they will play also this very direct Route 1 style. And so they will probably try to win the ball in midfield and then launch quick counter attacks, and if they are going to carry it at us, we don't want them zipping past us. But here is Mendy, who looks like he's leaving in the summer for sure. He is considering a contract and he's trying to work an opening. He can't. He finds Palacios to Gedson puts in a shot that just goes over the bar. It remains Benfica 0, Famalicão 0, but we are the better side at the moment. We're dominating possession, we are dominating the chances, and defensively we look solid at the back. The decision to come off the press seems to have paid off. They don't seem to be causing us many problems. We just need to go and score some goals now as Gedson brings the ball forward from DLP. Lovely driving run. Finds Novoa. Novoa puts it in. And the referee is questioning for offside. They are going to have a look at VAR. I thought he was onside. What is the decision of VAR? The goal is disallowed. He was just offside. I thought he was onside there, but it remains 0-0. And again, he was like a hair's breadth. And it does, though, remain 0-0. And we are still unbeaten in the league. I'd like to get a goal so that we could maintain our 100% record. This is not a good team, and we should be beating them. We have rotated a little bit, but that means that we're keeping players fresh, keeping them on their toes, and these players are good enough to be getting victories in games like this. And here is another chance, and it's a great save this time. He was offside again. Novoa does not look like he might be in the best of form, and we might have to take him off at some point and move Torres up front and bring on Andre Gomes, who we've decided to rest. And there's a chance that's hit the post, and it comes out. Mendy wins the ball, and it's not going in at the moment. I'm going to demand more. We have to do more, and it's just not going in. We're creating chance after chance, and Famalicão have not been in the game, and we have to get one of these in at some point. But at the moment, it's still 0-0. And we do have another free kick, and it's going to be Neres over the free kick. It's to the far post. There's another header that goes over the crossbar. Something is not working here at the moment, and we do need to do something in terms of trying to get goals. And when this happens, you do need to make changes in order to get goals. And I think that maybe it's to do with the lines. Maybe we need to do something with the lines, or maybe it's about passing in a more direct fashion and just not allowing them to regroup, and that could be the secret. And something that we might try in the second half is to pass a little bit more directly, not allow them to regroup, because maybe we're just allowing them to regroup. But here's Gedson to Neres, comes back to Rodriguez, finds Gedson looking for the ball over the top. That's beautiful to Neres back. And is that a penalty, referee? I think that could be a penalty. And Injai is on a yellow card as well. I need to be telling Injai to ease off the tackles now. And it's checking the penalty review. Is it a penalty? No penalty. It will be a free kick. No, he's accusing him diving, is he? And this is not good at the moment. We have had all the chances, all the possession. We just haven't scored a goal. And we need to do something. I need to tell these boys off at halftime for a start. This is simply not good enough. Absolutely unacceptable. And it's not that they're playing badly. Nobody is having a particularly bad game. So we will just go on like this for 15 more minutes, and then we'll have a look at what we need to do in order to address this. We only need one goal. They are not a threat to us, but we are just creating chance after chance and not taking it. It might be one of those games where somebody like San Ramat comes on and scores a goal. We have to do something very soon. That's a poor pass from Gedson. Goes back to the goalkeeper, Famalicão goalkeeper. It's a long punt upfield. Marato will pick that up easily. There's not much happening here, and I'm going to demand more again. It still remains 0-0. We just cannot score. And here is Novoa in space. He must score this time, but it's not a goal. It's intercepted on the line. I thought Novoa had broken the deadlock there. He hasn't. We're just creating chance after chance. And I don't know if the game is going to allow one of these to go in. We've had penalties denied. We are creating so many chances, and they are just simply not in the game. And we could even actually lose this, the way this game is panning out, and they have got a chance here, and they are bursting into space. The goalkeeper somehow managed to steal the ball there without giving away a penalty. Neres is bringing it forward. Neres, this is probably the last attack I'm going to entertain without making changes. Comes to Abde, beautiful pass out to Mendy. Get it into the box now. Mendy tries a shot instead, and now I'm going to make some changes. So I think we are going to play in a more direct fashion and just get the ball forward. And I can't think of anything else to do other than that. At the moment, players are playing okay. So let's just go with that for 10 minutes, see if that makes a difference. We need to be getting the ball forward. And trying not to let them regroup, but nothing seems to be happening. It's still 0-0. And what I might do is, in a second, is try to pull them out a little bit if they are defending deep, which it looks like they are. Try to pull the line out a little bit to see if we can then counter-attack over the... And here is a chance, though, but it still won't go in. We've created 25 chances now, and it still won't go in. And this is when you do start to feel cheated, and you are trying to make changes, and it's not like you're being passive and doing nothing about it. And I'm going to just try and bring them out a little bit to see if that opens up space at the back, and I'll make some substitutions. And so we have made a couple of changes. I have brought Sanramat on up front. We've now made 30 opportunities. We've had 30 shots on target. We've only had 30 shots on goal, only 11 on target. I'm going to go very attacking now. This is probably the last thing that I can think of to do. We'll put the fullbacks onto attack. Something has got to give, and we're either going to lose this or we will win it. A draw I won't be happy with, even though our unbeaten run will continue. This is a game we should have won with all the chances we've created. And here is Gedson into space, looking for Sanramat, and it hits the crossbar and goes over the 31st chance. I'm going to take Gedson off now and bring on Rafael Luis, see if he can't open up the defence here. But at the moment, and Palacios is very tired, maybe he has taken a knock, he will have to come off, and we will bring on Andre Fernandez in that centre midfield role. And it's not looking very good. I don't know what else I can do. I've played with all kinds of things. We've had 32 opportunities. We have not managed to get one of them in. And I don't understand this game. Many times I don't understand this game. That it's just something I can't explain, but we have gone and put it in. And as long as he is onside, we will take that. And now we have to bring these players back to what they were doing. In fact, the easiest thing to do will be to just shift it to the holding tactic that we play in the European Championship. And Abde, at the death, has made it 1-0. We need to sit back now and soak up whatever they can throw at us. They may well come back at us now, but we need to be able to soak that up. We have just about scraped through this, and we have kept, I think, as long as we can just defend properly here, we will have kept our 100% record. Morata's header is poor, and it was in fact the defender who didn't defend that very well. But here's Morata. Morata finds Fernandez. Fernandez for Andre Gomez. Andre Gomez looking for Sanramat. Sanramat can't get to it. He has got it now. Here's Abde. Abde looking over the top for Andre Gomez. He can't get onto it. It's good defending. Here's Fernandez. Fernandez to Neres. Here's Mela. We must get one of these to count. Can you get it into the box? He's greedy, tries a shot, and don't go clapping over your head. That was terrible play by Mela. It remains 1-0, but I'm happy now with a 1-0. I really don't know where that came from. 36 shots in the end, and finally we managed to put one away. I'm going to say well done. Let's not upset morale during this transfer window. This transfer window is going to be very upsetting on a lot of fronts. But we do remain unbeaten. We do remain 100% record. 39 points from 13 games. And we're now 10 ahead of Porto, who do unfortunately have a game in hand. But even if they win that, we will be still 7 points clear of Porto. And this run, this team, just keep going and going and going. And what I will do now is I will play through the transfer window, and we'll come back probably For Stuttgart and Vissela, there may also be other stuff going on here. But we'll come back for the Sporting game in the Allianz Cup semi-final, and then we will come back for Vissela in the league. And that's it for this video. If you are brand new to the channel, why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow and help us to support the very worthwhile cause that you can see scrolling up above me. And I am quite content, despite the fact that the shenanigans are still going on off the field, despite the fact that I have no transfer budget, that I have no wage budget, that we are in the red in terms of the financial fair play. We'll just ride it out and see what happens. All that remains to be said now is stay safe, and we'll see you in the next episode.